Hi, I'm Chuck, KK6USY. Welcome to Ham Radio Ventures. Today we're going to test the Baofeng UV Mini, pretty small. And first of all, I'd like to thank Banggood for sending this to me to test and evaluate for you guys. As always, the opinions are my own. They're not seeing my video beforehand, so let's get going. So here it is, and as you guys can see, it's pretty small. This is the most tested handheld radio, I think, in existence since it came out. My good buddy, the Smoking Ape, did test on this, and his failed. We're going to test mine too, but I'm going to use his parameters. The Smoking Ape's been doing this for years. He's probably the first ham to test HTs on a regular basis, well, at least in the YouTube community. I'm sure there's people out there that are hams that use even better equipment, but he uses the Tiny SA Ultra. Now, the Tiny SA Ultra is pretty easy to use, and it doesn't cost a whole lot. Now, when his failed, it kind of put the community in a frenzy, I guess. I don't know what else you'd call it. Ape has taught most of the ham tubers how to use the SA. He's been on their streams, my stream included, and he's probably the best person as far as how to use these things. Now, I have seen other tests on this where guys used a lot better equipment that cost thousands of dollars. The one thing I did see is Apes didn't pass in the like 7 or 8 range, something like that, on the harmonics. And the ones that I saw where guys tested it on bigger equipment, theirs didn't go that far. It only went out, 2 or 3, maybe 4 harmonics. Now that could be a reason why some people's have passed and some haven't. We're going to check mine. And, I do think that some of it might be quality control. And some are good, some are bad. So let's go ahead and check out all the features, and then we're going to test it. And then I'm going to show you, if you went around towards the end, I'm show you some quick steps on how to get to certain things faster without having to go into the menu. Let's check it out. All right, here's the box that mine came in. Looks a little different than some of the other ones I've seen. Looks a little fancier actually, and this is from Banggood, so like I said earlier. So that's what the box came in. Let me show you what came in the box. In the box came the owner's manual, 2 lanyards, 2 charging cables, 2 antennas, and 2 clips. Let's see, the clips looks like they attach to the batteries. Okay, that's what came in the box outside of the radios. Let me show you the radios now. Okay, so this was a 2-pack, and here's the 2 radios. Pretty nice. I got the green. They come in gray, black, green, and it's either red or orange. I'm not sure exactly which. Kind of in between, if you ask me. But these are nice. Now they're green, but everything else. This is just the very front part here. Everything else is black. These are the batteries. Let me get rid of one here. All right, so here we have the radio and the battery. On here, you can see all the stuff. You guys can pause that and look into it if you want to. It says UV5R Mini, 5 watts, 7.4 volts, frequency 138 to 174, and 400 to 520. Then it says down here, it says Baofeng Corporation. Okay, here with the battery. It's a 1600 milliamp battery, made in China, along with the radio. And I do not see an FCC marking on this radio. Do you? Now let me give you a little comparison. This is the new mini radio, and here we have the original Baofengs. I believe this is the actual original. A little bit smaller, not a whole lot. A little shorter by a little bit, and maybe just a little bit narrower. So there we go. All right, watch the screen here in the middle, and you guys can see that I redid the screen on thing. Well, let me show you the first one. This one first. This is the way it comes, and it'll say Baofeng when it comes on, like that. Okay. I changed mine, if you look right in the very center, to say the voltage, and it says 8.2. On the front, we have the regular. I mean, it looks pretty close to this one, right? The old style. The difference is, look at the screen. The screen is way nicer. So actually easier to read. It's very lit. And I do have this set to stay on for me so that it doesn't keep going off. Now on the top you have your antenna port, your knob for turning it on and off, and a low light. And the light is right here. It flashes and then it goes off. Now make sure you stick around because I'm going to show you some shortcuts to different things on these radios. But on the side we have an A and a B for transmit, push to talks. And if we push the side button, that does a radio. So that's an FM radio. I've got it turned down so nothing comes on. And on the front we have the V&M, the A and B, and this was the light switch. You have your menu, your up and downs, and your exit. And you have your 1 through 10 and your pound sign here. All these do different things, okay? On the side of the radio we have your usual Kenwood plug. On the bottom we have a just your release for your battery. You have this little light here. Now when you charge this light, if it needs to be charged, is red and it goes to green. That tells you it's charged. This is the cool thing about this radio and a lot of your new radios. This is USB-C charge. Before, when I do a lot of motorcycle camping, and before I used to take this radio for a long time. We had these hardwired in, but to charge it, I had to take all this stuff, okay? When you're on a motorcycle and you are packing a tent, all your cooking supplies and all that kind of stuff, you don't really have a lot of extra room. So that versus just a cord like this, okay? So that's one of the things I really, really like about this radio. And a lot of the new radios coming up. If we go into the menu, this menu on this one, oh, actually, let's just get this out of the way. You guys ready? There we go. Throw that in the garbage. Now, a lot of these radios have gone to a menu system that has sections in it. So we'll go into here. So it has scan, radio set, program channel, wireless CPS. This does have Bluetooth or wireless, so you can adjust things in your phone. And see, that went off. So we'll go back down and let's go up. So radio info, that just tells you, if you push the menu, that'll tell you your firmware and all that, and your hardware and all that stuff. And you can exit out. That's how you get out of these. Okay, so, and then let's just go up to the wireless one, and we will go in. So it's either on or off. Right now this one's on, okay? So we'll exit, and we'll exit again, and you can see the little, I don't know if you guys can see it, but right at the top there is a little wireless, like Bluetooth or something. All right, now this does, you can program this from your phone or from the computer with their stuff. Myself, I actually prefer to use Chirp, and this is in the Chirp menu right now. You can go in there and set it with your Chirp. Now the Chirp is nice because you can bring in stuff from Repeater Book, okay? Let's go back in the menu again, and you have a scan button. So if you go in there, frequency range, scan mode, and scan memory. We'll just back out of there. Now we're going to go to radio set, and we'll go run through the screen for you guys there. So one, you get step, squelch, power, Vox switch, Vox level, Vox delay, TOT, TOA, voice, language, Roger, beep, backlight. Now the backlight is the one, this is not always throws me off, but if you go in the backlight, this is the one that's, so I can leave it on all the time, or 5, 10, 15 seconds, okay? And then you got power on image. This is where I changed to the voltage instead of the picture. I kind of like that because it kind of lets you know when you turn it on if your battery is charged. So exit that, and then we'll go down, dual watch, and this is in dual watch. Let's go ahead and take this off, and then we'll go in the memory, and I'll show you what shows you that it's not in dual watch, okay? So let's go up, we'll turn it off, saved it, we're going to exit out. Now if you see this little, looks like an X through the speaker, that means dual watch is off. So I like it on, so I'm going to go back into dual watch. I'm going to turn mine back on. So we had dual watch, we got auto lock, alarm mode, alarm tone, and ANI edit, DTMF, ST, PTT ID, PTT delay, alert, tail, press SK1, reset, and we're back to the top. So that is the radio set. Now let's go down to program channels. Now it is pretty easy. You do have to put everything in pretty much. So we'll go into there's frequency, transpower, bandwidth, RX-CTCSS, RX-DCS, TX, TX, encryption, signaling, channel MDF, SP mute, busy lockout, offset, direction. And that's your direction of up or down when you're doing repeaters. Your channel memory, your channel delete, and back to the top. So go back again. You can push the talk if you watch this. Oh, I don't want to push it right now. You can push the talk there, or you can push the talk there, or you can change it to your, because it's on this one right now, and your AB changes it to the other one, and then back. And this does your channels, and this is where you can just put your frequencies in. Let's look at one of the antennas. I would say probably one of the first things if you bought one of these radios to upgrade is your antenna. These don't look very good, and I do know that even on the weather channels it wasn't picking up anything, and my other radios have in the past. It could be where I was in the house, I don't know. But now we can press this and put that one out, or if I press the B, it puts B out. Okay. Now, you might notice this 46725 is GMRS, and it does transmit on GMRS. I think as far as GMRS, it's kind of legal, because you can't have an antenna that comes off. For family radio, technically it's not legal. Too much power. Actually, the power on low might be about right. Okay. All right, let's do a power test on this thing. So right now, let me turn this on. The first test is, once this thing quits going, hopefully you guys can see this. But this will, if you press the button, the push to talk, here, let me change hands here. It will show you the frequency you're on. 146,520, so that's good. So it passes that. Now we're going to do power. This is high power. It should put out about 5 watts. 4.98, I'll take that. That's pretty dang good. Now we'll hit the 8 button and we'll go to low. This, I think it was 2 watts. So maybe it's 3. So it's 3 watts on low power. Okay. This is GMRS. All this is into a dummy load. This has a built-in dummy load. I put the antenna on here because people freaked out the first time they didn't have it, but it's built in. You don't need the antenna. The antenna is for checking like radiated power. Okay, so I'm not going to do we're just going to do power. So this is on high, and this is GMRS. I will do something on the 70 centimeter band too. They're about the same, but just because people ask if it does GMRS, it does. And here we go for power. And we're 4.92, so pretty good. Let me hit the 8, go to low power. 2.65, so a little less power than on 2, which is pretty normal. All right, let me get let me program we'll do the calling frequency. Okay, so 446, let's do 446. All right, so we're on low power right now. All right. All right, 2.7, okay. High power, 4.8. All right. Okay, so there's your power. We'll go on to the next part. All right, I told you that we would look at some shortcut buttons. First of all, the top one here, this one, is your light. We showed you that earlier. All right. If you press and hold this, you get frequency tone. So let me take another radio. I'll put that so you can see it in just a second. Let me get the other radio and turn it on. Here we go. So it shows 442, 17475, and 156.7 on the tone. So that works pretty good. If you're out, you hear somebody talking on a frequency and you don't know if it's a repeat or not, I think it probably takes a pretty strong signal to do that. But that's the first one we're going to do. Now, This has kind of a weird thing, but if you hit the menu and hold it, you get a timer. If you click it, it goes. Click it again, it turns off. If you hit the 0 button down here and hold it, that's your weather channels. Now your weather channels, you can go up and down like that. So I'm picking that one up a little bit, but not very well. That's probably my best one at the house here. Okay, now to get out, hit exit. Like most of them, there's a lock button, and usually you can find the lock button. You see there's a lock button right there. That's the asterisk. Hold it down, and it locks. Turn that up a little bit for you guys. And you hold it down again, and it will unlock it.
Unlock.
Okay. Now, if you want to change your power, if you notice the power on the upper one, which is what we're on right now, if you take number 8 and hold it for a second, it goes to low power. Hold it again, it goes to high power. If you go to B, same thing, it's on lower power. Hold it, and now it's on high power. So that's pretty quick there, and it has 2 powers. Now, if you hit the exit button, that's what we're on right now, okay? So nothing that I would use, most likely. Now, if you hit this button here, the pound sign, let's hold it, and I think it brings up DTMF.
Scanning beacon.
Oh, that's scanning beacons, okay?
Scanning stop.
And if you click it, now you have DTMF dial, so you can put in your code there, click it to get out of there. So that's the quick menus in here. There may be more, I don't know. I didn't even see those in the book, I just happened to find them.
Well, that's what I said to him. He told me that he used to live in Bulgaria as a child. His family brought him over to the UK. I said, oh, is that right? He said, yeah, I'm Bulgarian.
Local repeater.
I said, I'll tell you what.
KK6USY testing. This is the audio from a Baofeng UV Mini. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing KK6USY. This is the audio coming from a Yaesu FT3D. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. KK6USY testing. This is the audio coming from the UV5 Mini. Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so I turned the lights off so you guys can see the screen hopefully a little bit better. I've already calibrated everything, and I did check with Abe to make sure that I got everything right. I actually had a video that he and I had done before, and he showed me how to do it then. So we're in 146/520. Everything's set up. So and I'm high power. It seems to be the same on high and low, or pretty close. So here we go. So 2 and 5 this time. It usually 2 and 4. But wow, it's really checking out good this time. This one's clean. Let's just go ahead and do low power. Let's see if it changes. Three and 5 this time. So everything's below the blue line. It has some stuff there. And I am going to grab the other one, and we'll see how it tests. Okay, just so you guys know that this is the other radio, first of all, we'll turn it on. It'll have Baofeng on the screen. You have to read it sideways. Sorry about that. See, Baofeng.
Frequency mode.
Again, we're on 146/520. We are on low power. I'm going to go back to 8. It seems to be cleaner on high power for some reason. So now we're on high power. Let's go ahead and fire up. Like I said, this was not this clean earlier. It looked more like the low power with more power for some reason. I don't know if it's the power. I will probably charge this and test it again, but it looks pretty good. Let's just go ahead and do low on this one also. As you can see, low power is not as clean, but still passes. As you can see, my blue line is below the 10, which is somewhere between 10 and 20, which is 16. And there we go. this little radio is kind of cool, and it as you saw, mine tested out clean enough. Now, I've also tested my Yaesus, and there's no extra lines, just the one where it's supposed to be. But for this is a big improvement over the earlier, first generation type Baofengs, okay? Now, what's nice about these is they are reasonably priced. And I am looking for something to put out to the more motorcycle community for using these for bike to bike. Now you have your Cardos and your Sennas, which hook to your helmets, and the distance on those is quarter to maybe a half mile if everything's perfect. I've got up to 5 or 6 miles on these on the old Baofengs. Actually, I used those early on when I first started riding in my buddies. But then they were used as they were all hooked to us, so we had to unplug a bunch of stuff. I've got a way of making these Bluetooth. But overall, will this replace the one that I'm using right now? No, it won't. It could. But the reason is the one I'm using right now has 10 watts. This is only 5, as you saw. I figure if I am out someplace, I have everything programmed in the area that I'm at for repeaters, that I could probably get out better with 10 than 5. Plus the battery on mine will last 2 to 3 times, maybe 4 times longer than this battery. But the USB-C part is key to off-road motorcycles. I have a really small adventure bike. It's got a really nice screen on it for my GPS and stuff. There isn't a whole lot of room left over, so this may actually find its way on there eventually. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it was of some help to you. I'm Chuck, KK6USY. This is Ham Radio Adventures. Thank you for joining me today. I know your time is valuable. 73 all, and hope to catch you on the airwaves. Maybe on your new Mini.